Welcome back to Let's Analyze Elsword Revamped. There's a link in the description if you'd like to read my fanfiction of Elsword before watching further. This chapter is the climax of Elder's story arc and marks the fanfiction's first anniversary. It really has been one whole year since I started this project to fix Elsword's story, and judging from the pace that I'm going, there will be plenty more years to go before I'm done. This chapter is in Ciel's perspective, but unlike the previous chapters, this point of view isn't as crucial. It's still irreplaceable compared to using Elsword or Ein's perspective, though. With the description of the Elsword party as grimy, it shows no one cleaned themselves since returning from the underground waterway. There are 3 instances of Aisha in pain before Ciel tells Secret Service to have someone take her place. The first is in chapter 11 when she says it'd be better for her to rest after getting Banthus handcuffed. The other instances are in the 4th and 7th paragraphs when she holds her abdomen and kneels. Based on how eager Ein was to help the Elsword party in the last chapter, it makes sense for him to take Aisha's place. Reyna and Aisha know about the effects of Irelena Nymph, which explains why they don't look confused, but the reason why Ein isn't as confused as everyone else is because he can sense the L coming from Irelena Nymph and understand what Reyna did. After finishing the chapter, you might see this warning to Elsword as a red herring, since there isn't any shown combat between him and Wally's knights. However, you could also look at this exclusion for 2 other reasons. The first is that Ciel and Ein could have killed any knights before they got close to Elsword, which denies him of any combat. Another possibility is that he did okay against the knights, so Ciel didn't pay enough attention to warns describing Elsword's combat in the chapter. I had Reyna not mention Zero missing Ein because there hasn't been a lot of interaction between them so far to make her think Zero misses Ein. The task of rallying the citizens of Elder for the civil war against Wally shows how much respect and responsibility Hoffman has given to Louis Schell, who used to be known as an infamous thief. You'd think these two wouldn't get along back then, but you can probably guess that ever since she helped Alice's and Noelle with the Grand Market scandal, things have gotten better with her reputation. The bridge that Hoffman leads the 2 groups over is the Field Wally's Memorial Bridge. After doing so much for Hoffman, it's clear that the Elsword party and Secret Service have completely earned his trust based on what he says to the citizens. You can tell he's finally accepted them despite some of their young ages. The knight with the spiked bat is Verngert, the mini-boss of the dungeon Wally's Castle. I'll go over his relationship with Lenfad in a later chapter. When Ein describes a crossbow knight in a watchtower, it's actually the crossbow soldier enemy inside a bunker from the same dungeon. This isn't just exposition dumping from Ciel about Elysis ending the Velder Civil War. If you think about it carefully, you'll notice something odd. How does he and Hoffman know the Civil War ended, but no one is allowed to pass through Velder? News from inside won't be able to leave because of this. Well, it's something that will be explained much later. The man holding a greatsword is the Wally's guardian enemy from Wally's Castle. The Forus and monkeys described here are the Django, Kid Foru, and Bomber Mong enemies from the suburbs of Wally's Castle dungeon. I threw its enemies in because the dungeon story doesn't provide anything. In the game, the Elsword party tries sneaking into Wally's castle, but William and his crew make a ruckus, alerting the guards. You beat up William and retreat. What a waste of time, right? It doesn't even make sense as to how William climbed up a battlement with his bare hands. Blowing up the doors with the Bomber Mong's bombs makes more sense, especially after hearing Elder citizens wage civil war. There isn't anything explicitly saying William heard of this to prepare themselves for a stealing heist, but you can probably tell that happened off-page. If it's not obvious, the person asking why is William here is Elsword. Ciel and Ein have not met William before, so they would not know the Foru's name. How could anyone not see this coming? The showdown between Elsword's Mega Slash and William's William Slash. Yeah, I know it may seem like the dumb kind of funny meme that's hit or miss with people, but it's actually important. We see that Elsword hasn't progressed much in mastering the technique of Mega Slash if someone like William can match him with a copycat version of the attack. I'm not kidding when I say that Mega Slash is more than just a skill or a meme. It will be important for way later. Anyway, what makes Ciel's perspective irreplaceable for this chapter is describing the reason for why he doesn't help Elsword fight William. It's hard for him to hurt something cute, and you can tell that this character flaw will be fixed by the time his contract with Lou starts, because in one of his dungeon entering quotes, he says,
"I won't go easy on you because you're cute."
Elsword uses the Iron Body skill when his body radiates a red aura, like how Lo did in Chapter 2. Ciel's attack of throwing 2 azure spiked balls is from the X in his dash jump ZX command string. When Ein uses Explosion, he has a red Eid, which is why the sphere of explosion is red. The something tugging Ciel, Elsword, and the land is the suction force from Explosion. This is why Ein told them to stand back, so they wouldn't be pulled into the damaging zone. I'm having Ciel be more self-critical than how he's portrayed in the game, because he doesn't really have a lot of character flaws or personality outside of his webcomic I mentioned in Chapter 11's video. Just like Rose, I plan on making him more fleshed out, so he's realistic as a character. Even though this chapter is Elder's climax and first anniversary for the fanfiction, I don't have much else to say. The chapter speaks for itself, with Hoffman's amazing speech before the castle raid, a lot of combat, fleshing out Ciel's character, and Ein's sensing of the L. If you like this video or the fanfiction, show your support in the comments or with a review on fanfiction.net.